Hey, so check this out. Harsh truth, harsh reality, right? But in my heart, I'm gonna speak about how how the enemy easily slips us up, right? I'm reading this book, and in the book, he references Psalms 23. And in Psalms 23, it says that God will prepare a table for you in the presence of your enemies. So God, it's you and God, you dining with God. Think about that, man. You dining with the Most High God, man. So it's you and God, but the enemy don't like that, man. His biggest problem, he hates God. Why? Why does the enemy hate God? Because he wanted to be God. He wanted to be like God, missing the fact that we was created in the image of God. But he started competing and comparing with that which he started competing and comparing with that which created him. Man, why am I going back and forth with the creation of all, the God of all? So just think about that attitude, that mentality. He's going to oppose anything that is of God. The enemy slips us up because he knows our heart's desires. He knows that which we like or that which sounds good to us. He knows how to tempt us because he is the ruler of the world. And most of our hearts are not after God. It's of the things of the world, the materials of the world. So what he does is he finds out your love language. If you do not love your love, if you do not know your love language, then allow me to encourage you to read and figure it out. There is a book, and excuse me, author, please forgive me for not knowing your name, but it's called The Five Love Languages. Get that book, read it, find out which one is you, and then work on that. Love yourself in that way, because if not, the enemy will present someone to you who will love you in that way. Let's just say words of affirmation. If your love language is words of affirmation, then the things that he say to you are not going to be words that belittle you. He's going to tell you how much he loves you, how much he appreciates you, how you're the only thing he ever asked for and all he ever needed. Like, he's going to tell you everything that your heart wants to hear. And the better it sounds, the faster you fall in love with it. And that is because when you were younger, your parents either uplifted you with words of affirmation, they belittled you with words of affirmation. But one way, depending on how you feel about yourself, you're either very confident or not so confident. We either have high self-esteem or low self-esteem, but those come from childhood. Like, those are things we inherited from our parents or from our environment. I'm not pointing blame or fingers at nobody. Like, the reality of the situation is we live in a fallen world. So it is what it is. So from that produced how you love. How you saw your parents love each other, your environment, or what it is that you long for, you desired. Maybe you weren't getting it. Maybe you were receiving it, but not receiving enough of it. Whatever that is, that desire turns into flesh. So the enemy presents that to you, and it will do and say everything that you wanted it to do and say. Is going to look exactly how it's supposed to look. Everything about it is going to seem perfect for a time. Because when something is pretending with you, after a while, it reveals itself. If you just put time in between it, something can only pretend for so long. But when it stops pretending and when it shows you, hey, I was just playing, you should walk away. You should walk away. You should walk away. Because anything that is not of God is here to steal, kill, and destroy you. He can't do it himself, so he works on your mind. He works on your heart. If we are not able to realize with our spiritual eyes the truth of how the enemy works, then how can you combat that? How you going to go against that which you don't know that you're at war with? We are at war. The word says that we are not at war with, physical. This is not a physical war, but our war is of the mind. It's spiritual, with mighty and strongholds. Excuse me for not knowing that verse. I'll put it right here. Long story short, this is a war of our minds. And if our minds are not meditating on God, then the enemy is already winning the war. Because our mind is focused on things of that which 9 times out of 10 we can't control. And if you can't control it, it's out of your hands. It's under God's feet anyway. Worrying is not going to add anything to your life. So why do it? The things that we have control over, let's make sure we take control over that and not allow it to control us. Let's make sure we take control over this and not allow this to control us. It controls us when it gets us caught in our feelings and our emotions. Feelings and emotions are important. I attach myself to them, but I am not ruled by them. I allow myself to feel away for a moment because you are entitled to that. But then after a while, the victory is already yours. So the victor is going to raise up. Like, man, I'm not going to stay right there. I'm not going to stay on that lower level. For what? It's miserable down there. Once we heal from within, and that's letting go of those things which are behind you, pressing forward to what's in front of you. In the moment that you have right now. I appreciate you for taking time out to watch this video. This moment that you have right now, you can let everything that was behind you, let that go and press forward. Meditate on the word. Start with Proverbs. I'm going to say it over and over and over again until we get it. Start with Proverbs. Meditate on that day and night. And see if God won't and see if God won't reach out his hand and hold you and comfort you, console you, show you what real love is. And then once you receive that love, you will have no problem with giving others that love. Be blessed.